Hey, we're Household, hanging out with Rob on Front Row Live.
You guys just dropped a record. Can we talk a little bit about this record and, tell me the process behind it, going into the studio and creating it?
Yeah, this record, Everything a River Should Be, came out just this past week, but we've been writing it for like 2.5 years. So we're just ready to, we've had the songs for a while, and we recorded it over a year ago, so we're just finally putting it out. I don't know, I'm stoked. New song, new sounds.
Now, with the new sound, listening to the record, I noticed it's a very deep record. It's very personal. Is that kind of why the new sound kind of happened, because of how personal the songs are? That sound was just natural?
Yeah, so with a little bit of our history, we've been a lot heavier in the past, but because of like vocal issues, I've been unable to do that. So part of the transition was just like physical, not able to do it, but I think as we've been writing it, it just became more somber and more like serious, like you said. They kind of just melded together.
Now, when you guys went into the studio, like, how different was like the writing process this time around?
Really different. The writing process was like interesting. We took time. We set time to like be with each other for like a long amount of time. So we would get together and then like have all this pressure to write and stuff. And so, which was maybe not the best, but that was our like technique this time. Yeah. We've kind of done that before, but we really like were very intentional about like, okay, we're gonna be with each other for like 2 weeks, just working on the record, which was like kind of crazy, kind of.
Yeah, we did that like lock yourself in a cabin for a month, but we did it like kind of 3 separate times, and we had never done that before. Yeah. So we did that in Pennsylvania, in Minnesota, and where else did we do it? Kansas City. I don't know, all over. So.
Right, and then you guys went into Glow in the Dark Studios to create this record.
Yeah.
With producer, I'm blanking out on his name.
Nate Washburn.
There we go, Nate. Yes. So tell me, going into the studio with him and getting this record, finally, from the paper to recording the actual tracks and everything. What was that like?
It was a process. We were there for 3 weeks, a little over 3 weeks, I think. Yeah, and having that much time, you can really like dive into every single part of the process and make sure it's how you want it. So I think we like would record and like fine tune and pick it apart, and I don't know, like just made it how we wanted to make it because we had the time to do that. Right. And before in the past we've had time, but have also just kind of rushed it or like thought less about the small parts of the music, drums for me. Like I picked it apart way more than I have in the past. So
now this time is like the first record with Equal Visions, so that's more of a major label. How were you guys able to have the amount of time and not the relaxation, but the amount of time that you had to create this record instead of being rushed to make it happen? Yeah,
I'm trying to think. We signed a few months before we recorded it, and the mix is just the process can take a while. So. It's been slow, but we've had a lot of changes in a lot of ways. So just having it just flowed naturally, and it took a while, but I think we took the time to get it to where we needed it. So
now going back to that new sound, did the new sound change the way that you guys write the music as well? The instrumentation, the drums, the guitars, the way that you guys sing.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever known exactly what we're doing with writing. Like people ask us those questions, and we don't have this like formula that we followed. Every record has been it's been different based on like who's writing more than others and how the process. I think mainly what we're still trying to do, what we'll try to do in the future, is just like be the most true to us. And in the past, it's meant like working so hard on these tones and trying to replicate other tones, but then like making it and crafting it our own. So. Right. We're still figuring it out. I don't feel like we're like super solid songwriters. We've just worked on those songs for so long that we're now happy with them.
Right. And with this album, like what were the songs that kind of challenged you guys the most to get out there to the audience?
I guess there was. So like in the past, we didn't worry too much about like cohesivity. Help me.
I don't think that.
Is he making words up?
Cohesion.
We kind of just wrote a bunch of songs and put them together. And this record, we were a little bit more focused on that, but we still wrote songs that were like not exactly fitting. And like one of the songs, 5/8, or what's it called?
Safe World. Yeah, it's in 5/8, so that was like the working title. And I think this is embarrassing, but we spent an entire day of tracking. The entire day was Nathaniel tracking one of the tones for like the song. So literally the whole day was spent you.
Out of my memory. I don't even remember that.
When your audience listens to this record, what do you want them to get out of it? Like, who are you guys on this album?
I mean, I think that's a question for Josh because of lyrics and stuff.
Yeah.
But I want Matt to answer this one.
Yeah, just listen to the drum tones. I really want people to pay attention to the drums. No, that's Josh.
Yeah, it kind of resolved into like this one message like near the end of it. The song Bloom at the end talks about like being known, letting yourself be known in relationships and like risk taking and just like finding like your true self and just allowing that to be exposed to people. So I think the record goes from mistrust in other relationships, and it's mostly just about how convoluted relationships and like thinking about interactions with people can get. Yeah. I think that's really common for me to just like overanalyze all these scenarios. So I guess I hope that the audience can like receive and maybe identify or like relate to that in their own lives, if there are people that also have like these convoluted, complex relationships, that like life can be super shitty like that. It can just be wild. So that's the hope.
Dang. That was good.
That was deep, man.
I didn't even know that.
There it is.
I didn't know that. That's cool, dude.